Welcome to the Wise Money Guys radio show. I'm your co-host, John Scambray, and I'm here with my partner,
Giuseppe Visconti.
And we are certified portfolio managers that specialize in helping people who are retired or about to retire manage their money. If you like our show and want to get a hold of us for a no obligation consultation, or just want to call and ask us some questions, please call 916-967-3500.
And now we are doing it in Walnut Creek. We're doing it in Diablo Hills Golf Club.
Yep.
And that's going to be next Wednesday, which is the 29th, from 6 to 7:30.
Yep. And to register for that, you should be retired or about to retire and concerned about your investment portfolio. You know, it used to be, Giuseppe, that kind of rule of thumb is, all right, I saved up for retirement. We did what we were supposed to do. We paid off our mortgage. We don't have car payments. You know, our kids are out and taking care of their bills on their own. Although that's kind of turning around these days, and it takes a family to help kids buy houses and start businesses. But let's say you did everything right and you're retired. But the cost of things weren't supposed to inflate like they did the last few years ago, by 100%, 300%, 1,000%. I mean, insurance in California went up 500%. Yeah. You know, health insurance in the last decade, 1,000%, and on and on and on. The simple fact of the matter is $1 million saved for retirement with no debt. Maybe you're collecting Social Security, or you're about to collect Social Security. And if you were lucky and you worked for some entity, maybe it was a government entity of some capacity where you have a pension, fantastic. More importantly, get out of your debts and your mortgage and all of that. Make sure your family's, self-efficient, and you're good. But that's not the case anymore. And that's what we're going to be showing you at our free dinner workshop in Walnut Creek from 6 to 7:30 p.m. next Wednesday, which is the 29th. Call 916-967-3500. We're going to be showing you investments, samples from our portfolios, not cherry picking, just real life examples of current stocks and fixed income investments and alternatives. Year to date, our income and growth model, which is the one source wealth management income and growth model. And year to date, it is up 16.4% versus the S&P 500 being up 4.3%. Now, you might say, this is a good year or whatnot.
Definitely not a good year.
Now, we don't want you to come and hire us just for our return on one of our models, because we approach everything from a planning perspective. Right. So when we work with you, we're going to want you to have a living, breathing, regularly updated, that we're including in our fee. And we specialize in comprehensive financial planning, and we want that to be the basis for our relationship, so that when we do our reviews, which can be anywhere from quarterly to semi-annually. Some people don't want quarterly or semi-annually. They only want to meet once a year, and that's fine too. That's what I like about the way we do things. Transparency is the word that comes to mind, and that's the best part, I think, about being a fiduciary and fee only, is that the way we make money is very and readily transparent, versus a lot of financial advisors who maybe they're both.
And that's I want to just layer on there. We're not looking to find the cheapest way possible to put a portfolio. No, it's a portfolio that makes sense to get you from point A to point B. So it has to make sense. And if there is funds, because we do use some funds and ETFs, that, we're conscious and we look at the internal expenses within that fund, and then whatever they may be, they have to make sense. So that fund has to perform. It can't just be, I'm looking for international exposure, so I'm picking this fund. I'm looking for, fixed income exposure in the corporate, triple B market. Let me just pick this fund, so on and so forth. And you're just putting a myriad of funds just to fill asset allocations, no, it's the funds have to make sense where they have to have a good track record. They have to fit in and complement the overall portfolio with the individual positions that we have going on there. So it all has to make sense to get you from point A to point B. They're newer, more aggressive than what we typically use for a client. But I said, I'm going to go about it in the same fashion as I do with our clients and have a formal process. I don't care if there's news or something exciting that catches my attention that I get emotional about.
No, you stay the course on the model parameters.
Exactly, right? Because the emotions take over, especially when you're managing your own money. Like, oh, I heard something, so I think it's going to be a double, like 100% winner, or oh my gosh, things are breaking apart. The news, everything on the news is telling me that the world's falling apart.
If you're doing things yourself, and again, I highly recommend you don't just pick something that's down 50% and think it's going to go back to where it was.
That too.
That's another rookie mistake that so many people do. There's often reasons, like right now, so many of the tech software companies like Adobe and others, are down, big double digits, 50, 60%. And you just think, oh my God, if Adobe goes back to 500, I'm going to make a four. Well, there's a reason why it's down, because AI is coding and reprogramming and writing, faster and better, potentially software tech than the original tech coders in software companies. I mean, that's at the end of the day why the Adobes and the like are down, because machines that learn are doing it faster than what the company can do by itself. And you're up 45.8% year to date,
right?
Which is okay. The other thing is,
I could literally close my account out and have crushed my full year's returns from last year. But what that says is, and believe me, I look at my account and you see like, oh, escalate, there's an escalation of tensions in between Iran and US went in and bombed Iran, and oil spiked up. It's going to 120. Oil's going to get to $200 per barrel. I'm like, oh my gosh, should I just keep my money the way it's
fear mongering?
But I just said, I'm just going to completely hands off. I'm not going to try and bet one side or the other.
Let the model work.
I have two little models that I've put together that are newer, and I'm just picking those specific stocks, and that's it.
You should have a model that's designed to create that potential cash flow and drawdown of 6, 7, 8% per year if that's what you need. And you shouldn't, take risk just to take risks.
Unnecessary risk.
And that's the most important thing. We're just trying to prove that
unnecessary risk.
You're taking unnecessary. I take unnecessary risk. But the point of all of that is we're not going to put you in something or build you something that we wouldn't put our own family in, our own money in. If you keep interest rates, at a reasonable level, and the way you keep interest rates at a reasonable level is don't spend more than you make. That's the simplest. And the Fed has
partly them, but then they have to communicate on
the fiscal side with Congress.
Yes.
But if you keep the Fed shouldn't have the authority to go to the Treasury and go print money, because we want to put more bonds, more treasuries, and borrow more money. The simple fact of the matter is it's Congress's job to create financial policies that create stability and prosperity in the United States. The Fed and this whole BS came along after they got rid of the gold standard. Give us a call at 916-967-3500 to come in for a no obligation consultation, or register for our next Wednesday, April 29th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. free dinner workshop in Walnut Creek at Diablo Hills Golf Club. I hope you enjoyed listening to the Wise Money Guys. Have a wonderful Saturday, and come back and listen to us next weekend.
Have a good weekend.